Tonight is September 28th, 2017. Tonight on Gayxyz, a trans teen was mutilated and murdered. We're going to discuss that. Will and Grace has returned after a 11-year hiatus. And scandals in this last season. And chewing gum. What is that all about? All that and more tonight on Gayxyz.
Hey, Mr. DJ, put a record on. I wanna dance with my baby.
Hey everybody, welcome to Gayxyz. It's September the 28th, 2017. It's your host Donovan and Michael coming at you from Dallas as always. What's going on, Michael?
Michael?
I mean, what's your fucking name? Oh my god.
I'm like, who the fuck? I said, who the fuck is Michael?
I was sitting here looking at his Facebook page and I was thinking of Michael, my husband. I was like, what the fuck? Sorry, Jason.
What's going on, y'all? I'm like, who the fuck is Michael? I know that's your husband. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
When you said that, I was like, who the fuck is he? I was like, did he bring someone on and I didn't know or what? Like,
I'm having a dementia moment. Sorry. Anyway, what's going on, Jason?
Well, now that you have my name right, I'm doing great.
Oh yeah. So everybody, welcome to the show. Sorry. Yeah. By the way, if you want to find out more about us before we start the show, you can go to gayxyz.com. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter and Spreaker.com. So anyway, but first we wanted to tell you, Michael. I'm sorry. God damn, what is my problem? Jason had a something you want to talk about that happened last week as to why we weren't on last Thursday. So what happened, Jason?
Right. So, for those who didn't know, we did the show last Friday night because I had a friend who was in a car accident right before the show started, and she was hysterical and needed my help. So I went to go help her, and by the time I got back, it was a little bit later than we wanted to do the show. So we pushed it over to Friday night. So for all of you who wanted to know why we didn't do the show last Thursday, that is why I had a friend in distress, and I had to go help her just as a friend would. So
She was in what was it? She had a car accident?
yeah, she was in a car accident.
Oh, is
Yeah.
she okay?
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine.
Okay,
Yeah, her
good.
car is in the shop now. Um, it was just a fender bender, but it was more of a serious end of the fender. Like it was still drivable, but her hood was like all messed up and like it messed up her windshield or whatever the case would be. So yeah,
That sucks.
because what happened was I think she was the cause of the accident, but what happened was is that when she hit the back of the other car, for some reason the hood came up and it hit the windshield and then it like cracked her sunroof,
Oh
so
my
like all that's messed
god.
up and all that. Yeah, so her car's gonna be in the shop for a while.
That's horrible. I hate that. I mean, it always sucks to be in an accident, be without your car.
I was like, how big is the fucking hood of your car? Because I'm like, to get all the way back to the sunroof, I mean, it had to be the hood must have been bent all the way back for that to happen.
Does it
So, I mean,
open? Does it open backwards? I mean, what kind of car is it?
no, it's a Lexus.
Okay, just a regular.
It's a Lexus IS 350. I
Oh
think.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. So I don't know how. Child, don't ask me. It just happened. I don't know. But I went to go help her out. So,
Well,
but
good for
she's
you.
fine. So
Good. I'm glad she's fine. Good. Good to hear. Well, this week we're going to talk about mostly fall TV and things like that, and some TV shows and stuff like that. But first, we can address some of the serious topics real quick. Get those out of the way. First of all, last week, if you recall, I discussed how they were saying that being undetectable with HIV is equal to being negative, essentially. You can't catch it, okay? And people were saying that was what the people were saying, like the pharmaceutical companies and whatever. But now it's official. The CDC, the Center for Disease Control in the United States, which is the official person you want to ask about this, says that it is official. It states that undetectable men and women cannot transmit HIV to anyone. So it's as if they are actually HIV negative. So therefore, if you listened to the show last week and you had any qualms about it, whatever, like I said last week, just quickly to reiterate, I said my only issue with that is people can lie, or people aren't always on their medication or necessarily stay to the regimen, like you were saying as well. And I think that it's still would be important for people to protect themselves when they can and with somebody they're just met. I mean, if it's in a relationship or something, that's different, I think. But, someone you just meet, you probably still want to protect yourself, in my opinion, because you never know if they know for sure that they're undetectable. So,
right.
But now it is official, though, that if they actually are undetectable, you can't catch HIV. So that's good. So anyway, the other thing was there was a trans teen. This is a horrible story in Missouri. His name was Joey Steinfeld. He went by the name Allie. He was killed in early September, and his burned remains were found in Texas County in Missouri. And 3 people have been charged with the first-degree murder and abandonment of a corpse. And what happened was he is a transgender teen. He was 17 years old, and he was found mutilated, his body burned, and his eyes gouged out by 4 individuals who killed him in a hate crime. However, the people there in the county, Texas County, Missouri, are refusing to call it a hate crime, even though the people themselves had anti-trans, anti-GLBT, whatever motive. So that's really sad. And people who are transgender are really, there's, I don't know this exact statistic, but there's a statistic that states that they're 10 times more or whatever, 20 times more, something like that, likely to be murdered. than a gay person, and a gay person is like 5 times more likely to be murdered than a straight person, and so forth. So people in this country just fucking hate us because we're different, and I think it's. I don't know. I think it's sad. I mean, he was 17 years old, so it's sad. But anyway, so there's that. And the last thing was Hugh Hefner died yesterday? Today. Was it today or yesterday? I can't remember.
It was yesterday. I think technically it was today, but it was like after midnight or something of that nature. Or that's when the news broke. So
right.
we're going to say somewhere between late last night and early this morning.
And for those youngins out there, I'm sure most of you know who he is, but he was the founder of Playboy magazine. And Playboy magazine really changed everything in pornography. And it really wasn't seen so much as pornography, but it was then, but as it kind of aged, it was more like softcore porn. But anyway, it was pornography. And he was an awesome guy because he started this company on his own, and he was a mogul, and he never married. Well, he did marry, excuse me. He never had a conventional marriage. I'll say it that way. And he supported gay rights. His first magazine had Marilyn Monroe on the cover and made her famous and so forth. So he was a really cool guy, and it's sad he's gone, but he had a really great legacy. So he's going to actually be buried next to Marilyn Monroe. So I think that's pretty cool.
He's going to be buried next to Marilyn Monroe, and I think she's buried in Los Angeles?
Yes, she's in the Rose... I can't remember. It's like a famous Hollywood cemetery.
Is it Roseburg Cemetery? It's a Rose something cemetery.
Yeah. And she's in an actual mausoleum, though, or, not in a crypt, essentially. She's not in it. She's not buried underground. That's what I want to do too. By the way, when I'm dead, I want to be put into a mausoleum above the ground because I don't want bugs and shit eating me and all that kind of crap. You know what I mean? So,
why don't you just get buried in New Orleans or something?
What do you mean?
They're all buried, they're above ground. They're not buried.
Oh, the crypts
underground.
and stuff. Well, there's some are buried underground, but they were buried like in the 1700s and stuff. But yeah, that's true nowadays. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's like when you die, if you get buried, you're basically all eaten up by the bugs and the worms and everything else. Eventually, eat your body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just can't stand the thought of that. So, what do you want to happen? You want to get cremated, or do you want to be buried, or what?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far yet.
Oh my God! Just pick one for God's sakes. What do you want?
I don't know. Probably cremated.
Cremated.
But
okay.
I'm like, who would I give my cremated remains to?
Well, you're probably gonna have friends, or maybe you'll have a family. You don't know what the hell's gonna happen when you die yet. You're only 30-something. God.
Well, that's why I haven't thought that far ahead. So
okay. Anyway,
or what I would like to do is, I'm already an organ donor, so use my organs for somebody who needs them. I mean, I'm not living anymore.
Do you know? I think that's a great and noble thing to do. And I actually used to be an organ donor. On my driver's license, used to say, or a little heart or whatever, I said organ donor. And the last time I took it off because I just have this fear of being alive and then like harvesting my organs while I'm still alive, and maybe like I don't look alive, and I just have this irrational fear about it.
I had the feeling too. I think we talked about this. I can't remember or not, but I had a feel. Remember we talked about this? We might have talked about this. I can't remember. Anyway, it was a thing that I was going through my head that what happens if you get into a serious car accident and they like the paramedics have to work on you and they look at you like, oh well, he's an organ donor. He's dead, so we'll just leave him there type thing. And
yeah, that's.
Do we have that conversation? I can't remember.
I don't think we ever talked about that, but
I always had a thing to where I was like, oh my God, if I got into a serious accident, they had to work on me and they pull out my IDs and an organ donor, I feel like they would just stop working on me right then and there.
Right. Well, they're supposed to make sure that you're brain dead. But
right.
I feel like, I mean, if you're
in this day and age, I don't think that. I feel like that's not always the case.
But there have been like stories of people who've been like been put under like anesthesia or something, and even though it's different, I know, but anesthesia, and they could still actually see and hear and feel everything, but they couldn't move. They're paralyzed. And so that people were like operating on them. They could still feel everything. Their skin ripping open. That
scares me. I feel like if I ever need an operation, that I'm gonna be so paranoid.
Yeah, I've only had one operation a long time ago. I was 17 years old, and I had anesthesia, general anesthesia. That's the only time I have anesthesia, and you don't even know what's happening. I mean, you just go out and you just wake up. It's over. So it's great, but I think that I think it's fucking scary because I don't trust anesthesiologists or anything because it's like. they can make mistakes. They can. Maybe they don't give you enough juice.
I'll be like, before you do this, I need to check his or her credentials.
Yes. Let me see your diploma and what was your GPA?
Have you ever been reported?
Right.
I need to know that. So
exactly. And the thing is, they make you sign all this fucking documents and stuff saying that you won't sue them, and if they kill you, you waive your rights to a lawsuit and all this kind of shit. I'm like, fuck
I need to check your credentials before you put me under, because your job is to make sure that I do not wake up and that good stuff. So I need you to show me receipts.
So let's talk about this thing you have about children being exposed to mice and cockroaches.
Okay, so yes, let me pull this up here. I didn't know we were going to start talking about that first.
I just don't know what that's about, but
Okay, so a new study from Washington University examined 442 inner city children and their risk for asthma when exposed to different allergens. They suggest that living with cats, mice, and cockroaches may help fight the development of asthma in young children. Okay, pause.
Bullshit.
How the fuck is that possible?
It's bullshit, because I grew up with cats, and I didn't grow up with cockroaches or anything, or rats, but
Why
cats, and I had asthma. I had asthma as a little kid. That's bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. Why would I want to be around cockroaches? Like, how does that do? I'm speechless.
It helps you develop immunity, I guess, is what they're saying.
But my thing is, by running from the cockroaches?
No,
by being fuck I would
exposed to them, just in the same. Because cockroaches, they poop and stuff all over the place.
Just the thought of them just creep me out.
Well, they poop all over the place, and then when they die, they excrete this green crap. You don't really see it very much, but and so it goes into the air, and so they're pretty gross. They're disgusting, and they have lots of diseases and stuff. So, yeah, I mean I guess because you're exposed to it that more often, just like anything else. It's like that's why vaccines work.
So they think that you'll build up like some type of immunity or something.
Yes, that's the way vaccines work. They expose you, like when you give you a flu shot, you have a little bit of the flu.
I know there's a strain of the flu and they give you a flu shot. Yeah, but
it's with antibiotics. But I'm just saying that's how it works. That's how your body gets an immunity to stuff. So that's what they're saying, I guess. But I don't think it's true, because I had asthma from the age of 3 until 7. And
I thought having asthma was like lifelong.
Well, I have asthma still, but it doesn't affect me at all. I mean, what I'm saying is, when I was a kid, I had asthma attacks, you would you couldn't breathe and stuff, and they stopped when I was 6 or 7. And then when I guess about maybe 5 years ago, I started having these issues where I kind of occasionally would have breathing problems, and so I went to the pulmonologist, and she said, "Well, yeah, if you had asthma as a child, you probably still have it, but it's just been dormant, and you haven't really been affected by it. But your allergies and stuff can kind of make it act up, and so the symptoms for my asthma can come up as a result of allergens and things like that. But I don't really have asthma in the sense I have asthma attacks. You know the difference, right, between asthma attacks and
yeah.
Okay, so I don't have those anymore.
So here's the rest of them. I'm going to go and read it. It says the children studied lived in St. Louis, Baltimore, Boston, and New York City. Findings taken through analysis of dust located inside homes suggest that those around higher levels of allergens as an infant were less likely to develop childhood asthma. Another study examined the umbilical cord blood. These findings suggest that children exposed to tobacco smoke in the utero were more at risk for asthma. No shit. But then, let's see, higher ratings were also linked to mothers who reported being stressed and or depressed. That's interesting.
Right.
By
the way, we want to say hi. I don't know if you're still listening, William. There's a guy named William in the chat room. He's saying hi, y'all. So, hey, William, thanks for listening.
What's going on, William? Thank you for listening. Where is William? Where does he live? Did it say?
He doesn't say where he lives. Actually, he lives in Mississippi, actually.
Oh, what part? I want to know.
Corinth.
No shit. Okay.
Do you know him?
Corinth is well, I don't know him, but Corinth is an hour outside of me. I'm from Memphis, remember? So
yeah. Oh, there's also somebody else named Chase Knightley. Hi, Chase. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, and Corinth is about an hour east. I can't remember. Isn't southeast?
I have
Memphis?
No idea where anything is in Mississippi.
Well, I'm not asking you. I mean, I'm sure he knows, but I think if I remember correctly,
he's here.
Corinth is an hour southeast of.
Well, wherever
Memphis.
it is, it's near you.
But anyway, hello, and also hello, Chase.
Oh, thank you, Chase. Chase says, I love the show. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're
Thank
listening.
you.
Tonight, we're talking mostly about TV and stuff.
We're coming on. We're like the Jeffersons. We're moving on up.
Right. Anyway, so well, let's move on to the TV show. So, well, first of all, we have to talk about Will and Grace. Now,
Yes.
did you watch the show tonight?
No, I have not watched it. As soon as the show ends,
Okay.
I'm going to watch it. I do have it set on my DVR
What do you mean
to
when
record
it
all
ends?
the shows.
It's already over. It's over like hours ago.
I know, but I wasn't home when it came
Oh,
on.
I see. You're gonna watch it
but I have
later.
it on DVR. I'm gonna watch it once the show ends.
Well, as you know, I watched the entire full 8 seasons of 22 episodes almost each, or 24, some of them.
You just did a complete like binge
The
watch.
past 2.5 weeks, yeah, and I finished the last episode last night. And so it's so funny because I don't know if you remember how it ended, but in the very end of the original series, they had Will and Grace get into an argument, whatever, and they kind of grow apart, and they have to start living their lives separately. And then Will and what the fuck's his name, Nick or whatever his name was, his boyfriend, adopt a baby, and then what's her face, Grace is pregnant with Leo's baby, and then they have these 2 kids, and they grow up, and they grow apart, whatever, and they don't see each other for 20 years, and they end up falling in love with each other, their kids and stuff, and they run into each other again 20 years later. So that's what happens in the original, and then Karen loses all her money. And Jack ends up being really rich because he marries Leslie, the little short guy, because he ends up flying off the balcony and dies. So anyway, that's how the original ended. But
Right.
they were saying, well, how are you going to bring it back if this is how it ended? And they said, well, because they're going to act like that last episode never happened, and it was a dream sequence. So what happens in the first episode of the season, you see how they handle it. It's so fucking hilarious, the first like 5 minutes of the show, how they handle all the stuff that happened. And anyway, it was really good. It's great to see them back, and a lot of like digs at Trump, of course. Thank you very much. And
Yes.
and how much they can't stand him and how horrible he is. And it was good. It was really good. I love it. I love the show. It was great to see them back. It's like old friends, you know, that you knew a long time ago.
Absolutely. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm definitely gonna make sure everything is done, and I'm gonna watch it, and I'm sure I'm gonna be just laugh out loud.
Yes, it was very funny. William says Corinth is in the northeast corner of Mississippi, and he says
Okay, I was close.
he used
okay.
he says he used to live in Memphis. So
Yes. Everyone's moving out because Memphis is a fucking joke right now, but that's a different topic for a different show.
well, right.
So
Well, anyway,
yeah.
Will and Grace is great. It was great. It's wax, whatever. Great, whatever.
Okay, so I just pulled up. I don't mean to interrupt, but
sure.
I was on Facebook and I just pulled up
Yeah.
Chase's profile, Facebook profile.
Uh-huh.
He looks kind of nice. Just want to say that. I know you listen. I just want to just put that out there.
Oh, Chase. Jason has the hots for you, apparently.
I didn't say I had the hots for him. I just said he's a nice looking guy.
I don't know. How do you know it's the same one? Are you looking on Spreaker or are you looking on?
Well, I don't want to say his last name,
Facebook?
but he's on Facebook.
What letter does his last name start with?
I'm gonna be putting too much information out
No,
there if
you're
I
not.
even
What's
say
his
that.
last name start with? What's the letter? Is it?
It starts with a K.
Yes, that's him.
Okay. He has one picture here of him in a beige sweatshirt. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Well, good for you.
Just saying.
Anyway, Will has a blog. Hey, Will. Will has a blog. Advice on romance, family, kids, school, or career. Ask Will. Interesting. Wait, let's see what this says real quick. Let's see. He has a question here, and let's see what Will says for his advice. He says, Dear Will, I have been single for the past 3 years, but for the past year, I have put myself back in the dating scene. I've regularly been seeing three different guys casually. Last weekend, one of the guys I am dating brought up the talk. He wants to be exclusive. I do like him very much. We have a lot in common and enjoy spending time together. He is perfect. But the other guys are equally great. I enjoy spending time with them all. I do feel that it's time to become exclusive with one guy and stop dating multiple guys, but I don't know who to choose. What do I do? Jacob. And Will says, Dear Jacob, this is a difficult decision that you have to make, and it's one that only you can make. My recommendation is to have the talk with the other guys and see how they feel. They may not want to be committed relationship at all, and then again, maybe they will all want to settle down with you. You need to have that conversation with each of them and then follow your heart. If for nothing else, then to give each one closure. I wish you the best. That's good advice, Will. I agree with that advice. Yeah, that's good advice.
I just hope the guy who's seeing the other guys, I hope he's not young, because it seems like a lot of young guys are just really wanting to rush into relationships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
like I,
that's
I hate it when someone's like,
normal.
for example, I hate it when I hear a guy say when they're like 22 years old and they're like, oh my god, I've been single for so long, I need to find someone to date. I'm like,
I was
you're
the same
22.
way when I was 22 years old.
I was, maybe I was just an exception to the rule. I was not even thinking
Oh,
about dating at 22.
I wish I
I was too
wasn't.
busy having fun and
Mm-mm.
going to the clubs and fucking.
I was going to the clubs and doing all that too, but I was wanting a solid, committed relationship, and it was really hard to find that. And that's what I was pining for, was a real, relationship. And so it doesn't mean that you can't have fun and go, have lots of sex and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying that you also, I know I wanted a monogamous relationship, and it was really hard to find that for me in that age range. Because most guys just wanted to play around, and whether they were older or my age, it didn't matter. Especially, I think also when you're that age, guys don't take you seriously, and they think that's all you're interested in anyway. It's just like fucking or whatever. And so I think when you're older guys aren't interested in you because they want to settle down, they're a different place in their life, and the younger guys are interested because they only want to fuck around. So I think it was really hard. So for me, it was hard. For someone who's a hopeless romantic like myself, and someone who is truly likes monogamy and being in a relationship and the stability of that, it was really hard for me. But someone like you, apparently, it was fine because you're a big old whore. So
Yeah, I'm a hoe. You know I'm a hoe. I fucked 4 or 5 niggas at the end of the show. No,
Oh
I'm
my
stopping.
god.
Stop.
Anyway, but I'm just saying, I think it's different for everybody, so whatever. Okay, so also This Is Us. Do you watch This Is Us or not?
Do I watch what?
This Is Us. The
No.
show. You don't watch This Is Us with Spencer or Sterling or whatever his name is, and Sterling
No.
whatever.
Is that on Netflix or what?
No, it's on ABC.
I don't
Or
know.
NBC, one or the other. I think it's ABC. Yeah, it's a really good show. But this is the second season it's on. It's like the #1 rated show on network television.
What's it about? Because
it's about these four people who were all born on the same day at the same time. But they are three. Is it three people? Actually, three people. And a pair of them are twins, and the other one was adopted. It's about their family and growing up, and it's hard to explain. You have to watch it, but it's really good. But anyway, that's back to, and I haven't watched this episode yet, but it's coming back. It came back yesterday. Also coming back is Scandal next week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about that. I love Scandal. I love fucking Scandal, but it's the last season. It's the final season of Scandal. So what will we do without Fitz and without Olivia?
But the ratings have been going down for like the ratings start to decline like the beginning of last season.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
They did see it. They did
Go
see a
look it
decline
up.
in ratings.
Go look it up.
I will look it up.
I don't believe you. I don't believe
But
you.
but lately, but honestly, in my opinion, I feel like Scandal hasn't had that like it did season 1, 2, like the first 2 seasons or so.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the first 2 seasons of Scandal were like really good. And then like around season 3, 4, me, in my opinion, I feel like it started to fall off a little bit.
Right.
Like it just wasn't as good as it used to be. Maybe it's just, I mean, again, maybe it's just my opinion, but I was like, like I love it when Shonda Rhimes used to leave us with like cliffhangers for like season 1 and season 2.
They did it
and
every
you would
year.
be like, oh my God, what happened? And they did it for season 3 too, but it just seemed like it's not. I don't know. It just seemed like it isn't as good
You're really
now.
hard
I
to
don't know.
please. You're really hard to please. You know that? You are hard to please. You always don't like anything.
No, someone out there.
There's
can
very
agree
little
with me.
that you like.
Someone is going to agree with me.
I'm not saying that somebody doesn't agree with you.
Scandal has fallen off.
I'm not saying that someone won't agree with you. I'm saying that it doesn't matter what it is, you've got a problem with it. I don't care if it's about a show or music or something. You don't like something. You don't like anything. You're like an old man. Curmudgeonly again.
No, there are some things I like. I like watching Blackish.
And what's
I
wrong
like
with
watching
Blackish?
The Housewives
What's
or
wrong with
Atlanta
Housewives?
Housewives.
When does that come back, by the way?
And Potomac, huh?
When does Atlanta come back, by the way? Next week?
I don't know I don't know the date, but they showed the super trailer, and I want to say maybe starts in like November.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure, like early November. But
I'm
looking forward to that.
Well, I'm telling you, you're missing out by not watching The Real Housewives of Dallas. But whatever, it's really good.
Oh, and here's another thing. Speaking of shows, since all the shows are coming back, since it's now fall or whatever.
Yeah.
Empire premiered last night.
I haven't watched it yet, so don't give me any spoilers.
Okay.
You can still talk, but don't give me any spoilers.
I wasn't feeling it last night.
Oh, really?
I was just like,
All last season, I could barely watch every episode. I just didn't get through every episode. I was bored, and I would be doing something else while I was watching each episode. And I was like, it wasn't as engaging, like you were saying about Scandal. It wasn't as engaging to me as it was the first couple seasons.
Right. And again, this is just the first season I think this is season 4 of Empire.
4,
So hopefully as the season progresses, things will change. But I was sitting there watching. I mean, it was okay, but I was just like, it could have been better. But that's just me.
Okay. All right. Well, whatever. I mean, it's all right. I mean, I don't. It's not my favorite show anymore, but it's okay. What about? Oh, there's also that show. I told you about this show last year. I'm sure you never went to watch it because I tell you shit all the time. You never do it. But anyway, there's a show called Chewing Gum that's on Netflix that comes on, and I told you this is about this young girl. She kind of looks like a young Nene Leakes, and it's British. It's a British show, and it's a comedy, and it's like half hour. And she's like, it's all about her sex life and coming out. She's like a virgin and everything at first, and she's like this really religious household. Her mom's like an ultra evangelical.
They've shown previews of it on TV.
Yeah, and it's fucking hilarious. I'm telling you, you would love it. You would love the show. It's fucking hilarious. I mean, fucking hilarious. So,
something I just recently started getting into, though. I'm gonna have to get that too because I don't have Netflix right now. But that Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
I told you that show's fucking hilarious too. I told you.
Titus Burgess is fucking hilarious.
I told you about that 2 seasons ago.
I know. But he was on Wendy Williams. I think he was on the Wendy Williams show. I want to say maybe like 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's, then he's in the Downey commercial, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That man is a fool. I'm like, that man is hilarious. I'm like, I had to go on Instagram and follow him because I was like, I just love him. I was like, he is hilarious.
You should listen to me. Nobody fucking listens to me. I know good shows when they come on. I know good shows, but whatever. But no, yeah, that show is fucking hilarious too. I love it. It's really good. I think this actually was its 3rd season last year. This last season, I think it was really good. You haven't seen any of them yet? None of those seasons at all?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god!
I don't have Netflix.
Well, he reminds me of you a little bit. I mean, his personality is very similar in some ways. Kind of sassy. William says, "Girl, Titus is from Mississippi too. I love him."
Oh, he is? I didn't know that.
Yeah, see, the 3 of y'all are from Mississippi. Oh my god.
I'm from Tennessee, but it's close enough.
Oh, that's right. Same thing.
But I didn't know Titus was from Mississippi. Oh, he did say that on the Wendy Williams. I think he said he was from Clarksdale.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Correct me if I'm wrong, listener, but I think who said that he was from Mississippi?
William.
William. Yeah, William. I think he's from Clarksdale. I could be wrong, but I did remember now.
You
that
can
I'm
go
about
on. Just
he did say that he's from Mississippi.
You can go onto our Spreaker page if you want to see the chat. And by the way, it's live right now, so if you want to go on there and chat, you can. Anyway, so yeah, but I love Titus. He's fucking hilarious, and yeah, you'll fucking love him. By the way, I don't know if I'm sure you don't watch the show.
Wait a minute. Sorry, how come I can't pull up the chat? It won't let me pull it up.
Are you logged in?
Hold on.
On Spreaker, you have to be logged in first of all, and then
Hold
you
on.
can go to the chat.
That's the problem. Okay, sorry. That was problem number 1. I'm not. Oh, never mind. I can't get into it anyway. My phone's dead.
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, he says correct. He's from Clarksdale. That's correct. That's what he says.
Okay, so all right, cool.
I was gonna say something else. What was I gonna say? Fuck, I forgot now. Anyway, what were we talking about? We were talking about Titus and.
Oh yeah. Just shows in general.
No, but I was gonna say something about that, but I forgot what it was. Anyway, what was the other thing I was gonna say? I cannot remember. I'm sorry. I had something in my head. I just totally went out of my fucking head. I'm sorry because I'm old. Anyway, there's another show I watch. You don't watch. I was gonna say because you don't watch a lot of white people shows. I know that. I noticed that, by the way. But anyway,
why do you keep saying that?
Because it's the truth. You watch a lot of black shows and not a lot of white shows, and that's because you're black. But that's fine. But whatever.
Yes, I do. I watch plenty of white shows.
Okay, whatever. Anyway. Because every time I suggest a white show, you're like, oh, I don't watch that. I don't watch that. But if it's a black show, it's got somebody black in it. Oh, yeah, well, I love that show.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like given, wouldn't you think?
I guess, whatever. Anyway, just being stupid. No, but there's a show called Transparent, which is really good. If you're into it's about this transgender guy who transitions and he's in his 70s, and it's actually based on a true story, and it's on Amazon Prime or Amazon whatever it's called, the thing that you can get it like Netflix, and it's really good. Was another show I watch? What other shows do I watch? I'm gonna think. Of course, I watch Game of Thrones, which I'm sure you don't watch. Fucking amazing show.
But see, I've never been into like science fiction and fantasy. That's just never been my thing.
I'm not that much into it either, and that's why I was surprised that I actually liked it. And like I said, I tried to watch the first episode for years, and it's been on 7 years, and I tried to watch the first episode like 3 or 4 times, and I couldn't never get through. I was bored to death. But the last time like about 6 months ago, I watched the first episode and I got into it, and I watched all 7 seasons or all 6 seasons, and watched the 7th season this year. And it's fucking amazing show. It's just amazing. It's a really great show, real written and amazing. But anyway, I get that because I was like that too. But anyway, that's another good show. What other shows do you watch on TV that you don't mention? You watch Blackish, which I like. Blackish.
Yeah, I like Insecure, which just ended.
Another black person, yes, okay.
Empire.
Black show.
I like Love and Hip Hop. That's for the ratchet people.
Another black
show.
show.
We like to watch Love and Hip Hop. Well, right now Love and Hip Hop Hollywood is on.
Yeah.
I just like to watch it because I like to talk shit about them. Let's see what else. Atlanta Housewives, Potomac.
Black. Yep.
See,
you're proving my point. Every show you said is a black show.
No, I like watching Will and Grace.
That just came back today. You haven't even watched it yet.
Let me think.
You gotta think.
There's quite a few shows. I like to watch it in the Smithsonian Channel. There's nothing black on there. It isn't. They do Aerial America, which I love when they do like when they're soaring and showing all the different fields and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I like watching airline disasters, air crash disasters, where they do like the investigations to like airplane crashes and stuff. I like watching that.
Oh, William says Project Runway. Yes, I love Project Runway, William. I bet you don't watch that though, do you, Jason? Told ya.
No, I think I may be a little too urban for Donovan. I don't know.
It's not. No, you're not too urban for me. It's just you're different than me. It's just funny. I'm just making an observation that you
maybe
are.
Maybe I do like to watch a lot of urban shows. It seems like.
Yeah, urban being another word for black or whatever. I guess because it's the same thing, but whatever. Anyway, because I live in the city of Dallas, therefore I'm an urbanite, but I'm not exactly into like most of the things you're talking about. I mean, all the shows you mentioned, I like Blackish, I like Housewives, Atlanta, and Potomac. What was the other one you mentioned? Love and Hip Hop. I have no interest in watching. No. Scandal.
Well, it's watching as a guilty pleasure. I mean, I said, I watch it just so I can talk shit about the people.
I think that's like the black equivalent of like the Kardashians or something. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like the black equivalent to like, you remember The Hills that came on MTV years ago?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but more ghetto.
William says there are black people on PW. All kinds of people represented there. What's PW?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know what PW stands for. Maybe he means PR for Project Runway. I don't know what he's trying to say. Anyway, I don't know. He'll come back in a second and tell me. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what other shows are out right now. I'm trying to think of what other shows. I should have had a list together. I didn't.
I like Claws. Claws comes on TNT, and
what's that? The one with Nene Nash.
Yeah, with Niecy Nash, and there's a mixture of people on there.
Oh, I haven't seen
that. It's not all black.
Is it come on? Or is there? I wanted to watch that show.
The season ended, but they've already been renewed for a second season.
What channel does it come on?
It's on TNT.
So
I don't know.
I'll have to do like a app thing or something and watch it. Like
and Daytime Divas on VH1.
I heard that was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about Project Runway.
Daytime Divas is fucking hilarious.
Yes. Yeah, I've heard it. I heard it's pretty fucking funny, but I haven't watched it, American Horror Story. I watch that every season. I'm sure that's something you don't watch because most black people don't watch horror shows. Yeah. Anyway, because I grew up around my dad and his family, and they were like, no, they don't like watch horror stuff. What else? Do you know?
I don't know too many black people that do watch American Horror Story.
That's what I just said.
That I know of.
That's what I just said. So I said you probably don't watch it because most black people I know don't like horror stuff like that kind of crap. But this season they're dealing with like it's called American Horror Story Cult, and they have like this very charismatic young guy who's basically making all these people do his bidding because they're against like Trump or they're against Hillary Clinton or they're really right winged or really left winged, and Anyway, it's pretty interesting. This shit's different than you would think. Yes, American Horror Story. William agrees with me. See, thank you. It's a great show. Love it. Love it. Coven was my favorite, William, by the way. That was my favorite season. That was the fucking best. The witches and stuff. Oh, my God, that was the best. Anyway, okay, so I don't know what to talk about then. What else? You think else to say?
So not Kim Kardashian. Well, Kim Kardashian, now she's having a fucking surrogate. Who cares? I mean, congratulations, but who cares?
Why is she getting a surrogate? She already had a real baby. I mean, a baby through her vagina, right?
Yeah, but she's having a surrogate this time. Why?
She doesn't want to stretch out her.
I don't understand why the Kardashians do anything that they fucking do, but they do it. But supposedly she's having a surrogate now for some reason. I mean, I don't care, but congratulations. Kylie, one of them bitches, they pregnant too. They announced because they pregnant too. I mean, I really don't care about that, but congratulations. And Chloe is pregnant. Now, Chloe, I'm actually happy for her because she's been trying to get pregnant for a long time.
She's probably the most down to earth of all of those women.
Right, and because I remember when she was married to Lamar, she was trying to get pregnant, she couldn't, and so her I'm actually happy about because she's been trying to have a baby for a long time. The other ones, I mean, congratulations, but I really don't care. Mm-hmm. But and then something must be going on with the whole Kardashian clan because, like, Jay-Z and Kanye are trying to trying to like make ends meet and trying to get together again, and all these pregnancy things have come out in the past 3 days from the Kardashian family. It's like, I feel like this is a PR stunt or something like. Well, I mean, it's true, but I feel like it's also to get their ratings up on their show because I hear their ratings are pretty horrible. Keeping up with the Kardashians right now.
I've never watched one episode, so.
So yeah, and then I showed the picture. So Kylie or Kendall, I think it's Kylie. Kendall, I don't know. One of them
starts with a K, yeah.
Right. Anyway, they're pregnant by a rapper named Travis Scott.
Uh-huh.
And I showed the picture to one of my friends because I didn't know what Travis Scott looked like. I mean, I've heard of him, but I've heard like I can't name you a single song of his, but I just knew that he was a rapper. So I pulled up a picture of him. My friend was like, "Oh, he's black." I'm like,
a rapper who's black? Oh my God.
No. I mean, she was like, oh, she's dating the guy she's pregnant by is black.
It's
and I was
a
like,
Kardashian.
Well, that's why I said I'm like, that's all they fuck with is black men. What are you talking about? With the exception of Courtney.
Right.
I'm like, that's all they date is black men.
Yeah,
so
Scott Disick was her husband, right, or whatever her name was.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Travis Scott is not attractive. I'm sorry, I don't think he's attractive at all. I don't like him. I don't like that Travis Scott. I don't think he's ugly. I don't like that thug look. I'm sorry, I've never been into it. I just think it's. I don't like it. To me, it's the it's the black equivalent of a redneck. To me, so no. Thank you.
That's us, and I agree with you. But clearly, it means something because women love. Well, some women love that shit.
I don't. I think it's just it just turns me off. It's a turn off to me. I guess what it is. You know, I've told you this before. I think what it is to me is that it's like this whole machismo thing that comes with the thug life or whatever, and the whole like, you know, I'm gonna fuck you up or whatever the fuck they say. I don't know. I'm gonna, you know, kill you or put a bullet in your head or whatever I don't know the lingo. So you know what I mean. But
they say I'm gonna pop a cap in your ass.
Thank you. That's it. Thank you. That kind of shit. say kind of shit like that, and all this posturing and bullshit. All it is just fucking stupid to me, and it's just like little boys.
Pop a cap in your ass. I'm gonna fuck you up when I see you.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck that. I don't like that. I don't like them, and they're gross and dirty to me. And I don't want no. And it's the same to me with like a redneck guy. I feel the same way about a redneck, a white redneck guy. No, it's just disgusting. So no, like the one tooth and like, I'm gonna get you, whatever. I mean, no, thank you.
Not all rednecks have.
I'm stereotyping both sides here. I'm stereotyping the white side and the black side.
I've seen some rednecks who have actually very nice teeth.
Oh, so. I've seen some gorgeous rednecks. I've seen some gorgeous thugs. I'm saying generally speaking. I just don't like the whole culture around them and the way they dress and the way they look. Both sides. I just think it's
right.
To me, I'm not attracted to that. I've never been into like bad boys anyway. I mean, like to some extent, I guess maybe, but like. When I say bad boy, it would be like somebody who's like in like leather or something, but not like somebody who's like really like gonna kill you or who's in like gang.
The only bad boy I think about is
or the KKK.
Bad boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you, bad boy? That's the only thing I know when it comes to bad. I don't like bad boys either, though.
No, I've always been more of a. For me, I'm mostly attracted to people with good heart, a big heart, and that's why I love my husband. And somebody who's kind, and that's important to me. And so that's what I've always been attracted to, and that's really hard to find. Actually, it's very rare. And so most guys that when I was dating and stuff, were just assholes and they were just rude, mean people, not just to me but other people, and I didn't like them. So usually thugs and rednecks are not the nicest people. So anyway, Chase says yes, some have 2 or 3 teeth even. So that's right. I don't know where Chase is from. Chase, where are you from, by the way? It doesn't say on your
his thing says Massachusetts.
Oh, I'm not on his Facebook page. I'm on his Spreaker thing, so I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, it's in Massachusetts.
Okay.
So
Okay. Well, cool. Massachusetts is great. I love it. I'd much rather live there than in fucking Texas, because at least they're much more liberal there than they are here, and they're fucking dumbass.
I've actually been to Massachusetts. I was only there overnight.
Where, Boston or something, or what?
No, well, I think it was whatever the airport is in Boston. I guess it's in Boston, maybe in that area. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been to the Boston airport. Yeah.
Yeah, I was only there overnight, so I mean, I've been there. I really can't say much about it. I hear the people in Boston are kind of well,
racist.
No, I hear they're just kind of like pushy and kind of blunt, pushy and blunt.
That sounds more like a New Yorker than somebody from Boston, but maybe yeah. I mean, like, what's his face? Isn't Mark Wahlberg from there? You know, Mark Wahlberg and Donnie Wahlberg and those people, they're all from, like, Boston or whatever, the Boston area, you know, like from the Southie or whatever. You know, what's his name? Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are from there, too. So, yeah, it's Logan Airport in Boston, by the way. Anyway, but I've always heard that Boston's pretty racist. It's one of the most racist cities in America.
But they just had an incident that happened there not too long ago involving something that was race related or something.
Well, see, it doesn't surprise me. Not that Texas isn't just as racist. I'm just saying that, you know, it's supposed to be pretty bad there too. But I've only ever been to Boston near the airport on a layover to Paris. That was the only time I've ever been to Boston.
Right. Yeah, but I've never been there to actually visit.
Me either.
You know.
So I'll have to check it out someday. But now that you know where Chase lives, you can go up there and visit him. Anyway.
You're right. If he lets me, you never know.
If he lets you. Anyway, what else? I guess I don't know anything else to talk about tonight. We were kind of on our topics today.
These braces, I tell you.
They're still hurting you?
No, they're not hurting me. They're just annoying.
Oh.
Like, I feel like if I were to give somebody head, I couldn't properly do it.
We discussed this last week. I told you just...
No, I'm just saying. Yeah. I know I probably have to come up with some kind of technique to hold my mouth a certain way or something.
So you're self-conscious about it, basically.
I'm not really self-conscious about it. I mean...
Well, you seem to be. You said you're worried about not being able to give a head properly. That's self-conscious.
No, that's more of a safety thing, I guess.
Oh, so you're worried about the other guy's penis.
Right.
Oh, by the way, Chase says actually the incident you're talking about was the entire city of Boston chasing out a Nazi protest group. Well, good for Boston. That's awesome.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. I'm in support of that.
Me too.
And that I do approve.
Well, it's just like anywhere, no city is... Well, you're white, Chase. That's easy for you to say that. He says Boston's the least racist city he's ever been in. Okay, well, that's good. But in my opinion, I've never been there, so I can't say Boston is racist. I'm just telling you what I've heard, you know, from other people and people of color and, you know, and also gay people. But that's good. But you can't say any city is all anything. I mean, obviously we're stereotyping these places, you know. You can't. People always think you come to Dallas. People who've never been to Texas, especially, and you come to Dallas, they're expecting like tumbleweeds and like, you know.
Why is that? I think it's because they portray that on TV.
Yeah, and like cowboy hats and spurs and shit like that. And they really think that's what people are like here. And Dallas is one of the most cosmopolitan cities in America.
Right. I mean, when my friends came here, they all thought that we lived in like cottages or something. I'm like,
what do you mean like cottages? What?
I mean, it was like, they expected like desert, tumbleweed,
or prairie.
You know,
yeah.
Some store made out of
house
like,
in the
you know,
prairie.
where the roof is made out of tin. You know, it's like, no, we don't have tumbleweed. I mean, now you go to some rural area of Texas, yeah, they may have that, but not in a big ass metropolitan city.
No, I know.
They expected people riding around on horses and shit. I'm like, my car. I mean, I have a car. I don't have a horse. I don't use a horse to get around the city.
Right, or you don't use a horse-drawn carriage to get around. Yeah.
Right. Like I don't have a horse with a carriage attached.
Well, I think it's also
like we have Uber here too. We don't use a horse and a carriage and use the carriage as to transport people from point A to point B.
I had when I was like 14 in high school. I had a pen pal from France. Her name was Delphine, and she was asking me about that kind of crap. And I was like, she's like, so do you live like on a prairie? I mean, she was saying it in French, but do you live on a prairie, or do you rope cattle and shit like that? I was like, are you fucking crazy? It's like, no.
I blame Hollywood for that, because Hollywood portrays Texas as like everyone wears cowboy boots, cowboy hats, and these big ass fucking belt buckles, and everyone drives a fucking Ford F-150.
Yes, I know.
And that is so not the case.
Yes, I know. And the show Dallas, they think everybody lives on a ranch like that or something, probably. The show Dallas was internationally famous.
like a big ass plantation lookalike type
right,
thing.
Yeah. And I think it's just ridiculous, but whatever. I mean, that's the same thing with me and going to Boston. I've never been to Boston. I have an idea of what Boston's like. I think Boston's pretty cosmopolitan too. It's smaller than Dallas, of course, but right. I think it's pretty cosmopolitan, and I would love to go there and visit. It's got tons of history there, and as Chase was accurately saying in the chat, he said Massachusetts was the first state in the entire country to legalize same-sex marriage, and that's true. I think it was 2005, and that's correct. And that was like 2005 or 2007. I think it's 2005. But anyway, yeah, and so you can't really judge a book by its cover. You can't necessarily go by what other people say. You have to use your own eyes and your ears and just discover it for yourself. Just like people come to Dallas, you have to discover for themselves that we don't actually live in fucking log cabins. So
right, like we do have electricity, people.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
We don't. Our house is not made out of wood.
I mean, I think honestly, more than anything in Texas, I think that Dallas is probably the least like the stereotype. Austin and Dallas, I think, are probably least like the stereotype. I think Houston has a lot more like people wearing cowboy hats and shit like that. Not that they
oh, really? I've never seen that, and I've been to Houston several times.
I have, especially when I was younger. But I grew up here, so it's different, I guess, for me. And also, I grew up, and anyway, it doesn't matter. But anyway,
believe it or not, I actually see that quite a bit in El Paso.
Yeah, and that's more the western feel. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, now I've been to El Paso. My uncle lives in El Paso, and I've been to El Paso several times, and it's a little bit more realistic out there. But that when it comes to like, I mean, El Paso is a big city too, but it's a little bit more country.
It's not really a big city in terms of its land mass. It's more about the population is biggish because there's lots of Hispanic people who live there, and because it's right next to the border of Mexico, and
right.
Yeah, that's why. But it's not really a big city like Dallas, I'm saying, or Houston. So.
Oh, I remember when I was in El Paso. I know we keep on going about this.
Oh wait, before you go on, Chase says, "Don't get me wrong. The city." He's talking about Boston. The city is filthy, and the people are most often assholes. But we love everybody. That's funny. Okay, go ahead.
No, I remember when I was in El Paso to go visit my uncle. I met this fine ass Mexican guy. Uh-huh. He was so fine. Mm-hmm. He was fine as fuck.
Where was this? In El Paso?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was hot.
Yeah.
And we fucked.
Okay.
That's all I want to say.
Well, I've got to say my story about El Paso. When I was 17 years old, I met this guy online. His name was Justin. And he was 19. And I went over to his apartment. And he was fucking gorgeous. And he was 6'6". And he was built like a fucking tank. I mean, like he, like muscles, right? Like not like overly muscle, but just really like solid, like a tank, right? And right. I was like, he opened the door. I was like, oh my god! I mean, my mouth was like, I was drooling, right? But I was like, this guy's not gonna be into me. He's too fucking gorgeous and perfect and whatever. And so we sat there. We were listening to music or whatever, the Cockatoo Twins or something like that. I don't know. And then we were watching TV. And we're sitting on the sofa. This is like an hour in or whatever, we're talking, whatever. And all of a sudden, he just jumps my bones. He just starts kissing me, and we start having sex. And
that's how it is.
We dated for like a long time. But he was from El Paso. My point is, he was from El Paso, and he was just the hottest thing ever. And I think about him all the time, still, because he
probably still lives there.
He doesn't, because he doesn't live in El Paso. Then he lived in Dallas. But I'm saying he was from El Paso. That's where he just moved from because he just graduated. But anyway, But yeah, so I have fond memories of El Paso because of him too.
But back to the thing with my braces or whatever. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm about to watch like some tutorial videos on how to give head with braces.
We talked about this already, and you just need to go do that.
I know, but I'm really gonna, because I'm too embarrassed to ask my dentist.
Well, I wouldn't ask your dentist that question.
I mean, I feel like she'll be okay with it because she seemed like she's pretty cool with that type of stuff. But it'll still be kind of embarrassing. Like, so how do you give head to someone with braces? And there actually are a few tutorial videos. Well, not tutorial videos, but they explain how to like eat a girl out with braces or give head with braces, that type of thing. And they actually like have videos out there, and they actually have a lot of views on them. So like people watch the shit and really want to know.
Yes, you said that last time. I know. We talked about this already.
So yeah.
We talked about this already. Anyway, okay. Well, I guess that's the show for tonight. We'll be back next week, which will be October. Can you believe it's gonna be October next week? October the 5th when we come back from next week.
We're done already?
October, yes. Can you believe that?
I mean, no, I said we're done with the show already.
It's been an hour, bitch. Yes, we're done. We'll be back next week on the 5th with a new show. By the way, if you want to, like I said earlier in the show, if you want to find out more about us, you can go to gayxyz.com. You can listen to the show there live, or you can also listen to the show live on Spreaker, SPREAKER.com every time we
And
have
I'll be
a
in the
show.
chat room next week, too.
Yes, and we appreciate Chase. Thank you so much, Chase, and also William for listening and chiming in. I love to hear from people when they listen to the show. Thank you for listening and watching. And we will see you guys next week. If you have anything you want to say to us, you need advice from us, by the way. If anybody needs advice, like they asked William, apparently, you can always ask us for advice because we're happy to give it because we always have an opinion on everything. So be sure to ask, and we're happy.
We're not therapists. We want to put that out there.
Oh yeah, I'm
So
almost like a
we don't want to get
therapist.
sued.
I'm almost a therapist. I'm an honorary one, but anyway. By the way, if you want to tweet us, you can tweet us at Gayxyz Show. You can also on Facebook, you can add us there, gayxyz.com as well, and that's it. So Jason, if you want to pimp out your Instagram.
Oh yes, you can follow me on Instagram. It is Fire and Ice 17. Excuse me, that's Fire and Ice 17.
Yes, and you can find me at Off Limits Show, OffLimitShow.com. And I haven't done an Off Limits show in forever. I need to do one. I think I'll do one next week. So anyway, William, thank you. We love you too. He says he loves the show, never misses a show. I thank you so much for listening, and we will see you guys.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. It means a lot to us. It really does.
It does. And stay gay, as we say. Bye. We love you.
Bye. Stay gay, motherfuckers.